coming on here today to continue my discussion about performing and how it might be a trauma response, and why, when we go on a healing journey or an authenticity discovery of ourselves, why we might start noticing how some people and some systems, some families, some workplaces, some relationships, some of our colleagues, some of even those that we held in high regard, how they actually might prefer us to perform. And this is especially true with those of us who survived complex trauma, and those of us who are neurodivergent. Complex trauma and being neurodivergent often requires us to wear masks to stay safe, to adopt different personas in order to not be harmed, to not have a social, emotional, financial, or even spiritual abuse that happens. And when we start healing, to those that may be around us, or those who haven't gotten curious about themselves, to them it can feel like we're pulling away. We're pulling away and we're not being who they thought that we were. And it's only when we are actually safe that we can start being ourselves, when we start knowing ourselves. And so often you'll hear, well, you've changed. Well, that can be a good thing if how you've changed was you're not performing and people pleasing all the time. That can actually be a very good thing. It can also be very hard thing, because those around us, we may have to grieve the loss of them, and maybe they're still in our lives, and we may have to grieve the loss that they're not going to support us emotionally or support us socially in those kinds of ways. And one of the painful parts of this all is we often, when we start healing and start becoming more and more authentic, it's often when we're in safety that we can take down the mask, that we can not perform this persona. And that period is very tender, because that can be through periods of burnout that we discover, that we're not who we're projecting out into the world so that we can stay safe. And burnout, it can be a sacred invitation into discovering, oh, we are performing. So that is one of my hot tips. Are you burnt out? And then working it back. Well, what led to that? What led to the burnout?